We just finished our toothbrushing video for you guys, and that reminded me of this book by Robert Munsch called Andrew's Loose Tooth, so I thought, let's go ahead and do a read aloud as well. So, Andrew's Loose Tooth by Robert Munsch. When Andrew came downstairs, there were 3 big red apples in the middle of the table, and even though he had a loose tooth, he decided to eat an apple. So he reached out, picked up the apple, shined it on his shirt, and took a bite and yelled, "Yow! Mommy, Mommy, do something about this tooth. It hurts so much that I can't even eat my apple." Andrew's mother opened up his mouth and looked inside. "Ooh, ooh, ooh," she said, "it's a loose tooth. I know what to do." She took hold of the tooth with both hands and pulled as hard as she could, but the tooth did not come out. "Oh, Andrew," she said, "I just can't get that tooth out. Why don't you try another apple? That might make your tooth come out." So Andrew reached out, picked up an apple, shined it on his shirt, and took a bite and yelled, "Yow! Daddy, Daddy, do something about this tooth. It hurts so much that I can't even eat my apple." So Andrew's father opened up his mouth and looked inside. "Ooh, ooh, it's a loose tooth. I know what to do." He got a big pair of pliers and took hold of Andrew's tooth. Then he put his foot on Andrew's nose and he pulled as hard as he could. But that tooth would not come out. "Oh, Andrew," he said, "this tooth is stuck. Why don't you try to eat another apple? That will make your tooth come out." So Andrew reached out, picked up an apple, shined it on his shirt, took a bite, and said, "Yow! Daddy, Mommy, Mommy, Daddy, do something about this tooth. It hurts so much I can't even eat my apple." So they called the dentist. The dentist came in a shiny black car. He opened up Andrew's mouth, looked inside and said, "Oh, it's a loose tooth. I know what to do." He got a big, long rope and tied one end to Andrew's tooth. Andrew said, "I know what you're going to do. I know what you're going to do. You're going to tie the other end of the rope to the car door and you're going to slam it." "No," said the dentist. "I'm going to tie it to my car." He tied the other end of the rope to his car and drove away as fast as he could. But when he got to the end of the rope, his whole car fell apart. The dentist just stood there holding the steering wheel. Then Andrew's mother and his father and the dentist all said, Andrew, that tooth will not come out. You just can't eat your breakfast." Andrew sat on the front yard looking very sad. His best friend Louis came along and said, "Andrew, what's the matter?" "Oh," said Andrew, "my mother can't get my tooth out, and my father can't get this tooth out. The dentist can't get this tooth out, and I can't have my breakfast." "Oh," said Lois, "I know what to do." Louis went to Andrew's phone and called the Tooth Fairy right away. The Tooth Fairy roared up on a large motorcycle. Andrew looked at the Tooth Fairy and said, "If you think you're going to use that motorcycle to pull my tooth out, you're nuts." "What do you think I am?" said the Tooth Fairy. "A dentist?" She pulled Andrew's tooth with one hand, and that tooth did not come out. She pulled Andrew's tooth with two hands, and that tooth did not come out. She got a large hammer off of her motorcycle and clanged Andrew's tooth. The hammer broke into two pieces, and that tooth still did not come out. Incredible, said the Tooth Fairy. This is the first tooth that I can't pull out. I guess you just can't eat your breakfast. Hold it, said Louis. I have an idea. Louis went into Andrew's house and got a pepper shaker. Then he pushed back Andrew's head and sprinkled pepper up Andrew's nose. Andrew went, ha, 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 achoo! And sneezed that tooth all the way across town. Look, you can see his tooth went through the newspaper, through the bush, and a donut, zoom, all the way across the town. But the Tooth Fairy still got her tooth. The end. And it looks like Andrew and Louis got to eat their apples after all. I hope you enjoyed that book. Thanks for joining us.